All right, good morning. Sometimes it takes a while for that thing to pop up, and then sometimes it's like, boom, you're live instantly. Today we're live as soon as I click the button. Good morning. It is Thursday, June 26th, and it is pretty early in the morning, luckily. So we have a whole day ahead of us to get things done. I have jazz band practice tonight. Just dropped my son off at cross country. He's running. Oh man, my daughter, she's in this driver's ed class. Today she's taking her driving final. So it's not for her license officially. She has to do with with the DMV, but just for her grade for the class, she has to do her final, park uphill, park downhill, parallel park, change lanes, check all the boxes. And if you don't signal, they mark points off. And if you don't buckle, they, fail you immediately, right? Like the whole thing. So last night we were out a little earlier in the night, and then some even after an activity we did, just to get a little bit more experience, a little more practice, and it was cool. She's gonna do great. She's a very careful driver. She's very, very careful, very very coordinated. She's definitely very coordinated, which is awesome. She has a good head on her shoulders. She's very meticulous about checking blind spots and head check. So she's gonna do great. Yeah. Morning, guys. I see Callie on. John Marco's on. Let's dive in. Let's play the puzzles. Let's do it. All right. So in the connections puzzle today, I see Lovelace, Enigma, Sewing, Suits, Vending, Hawking, Dressing, McQueen, Goliath, Protein, Pinball. These are all over the place. Damages, Cheese, Bojack, Matlock, and Lettuce. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are all over the place. A lot of these seem like names, right? There's Steve McQueen or Lightning McQueen. Stephen Hawking. Oh, wait, these are both Steves. Oh my gosh, now you're really... Is it Steve Bojack? Ugh, I remember there's a phrase, or there's a name, I think it was a TV show. Bojack? Was it Bojack Horseman? Oh, no. And Steve Matlock? Are these Stevens? No, they're one away, though. So one of these is not correct. Sewing, Enigma. I don't know. We'll come back. I think Stephen Hawking and Steve McQueen are correct, though. So to make a salad, you might use lettuce, dressing, and cheese. Oh, and some kind of protein. Okay, components of a salad. Nice. I love a good salad. I'll make all sorts of salads. We'll make, Greek salads or Southwest salads. It's got kind of a spice to it. Oh my gosh, any kind of salad is just wonderful. I wonder if Lovelace is a name as well. I wonder if that's one of the names. But which? I don't know. Vending. Oh, vending machine. Oh, I see. Sewing machine, vending machine, Enigma machine, and pinball machine. These are machines. I bet you that. Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you that's the green category. Little less straightforward. The Enigma machine was used in, was that World War I? As a encryption device to encrypt data. You buy salads at Costco, but their dressing is so salty. Oh, I didn't know. I don't think I've ever had one from Costco. We've got a local supermarket here that they have, the pre-made salads, and they're so reasonably priced. They're like $3 for a very decent sized salad. And depending on the type you get, I think it's like $3.98 or something. And you get, if you get a Cobb salad, it has like 2 chicken strips cut up and a hard-boiled egg and it's just like very, very generous. I'm like, sign me up. That sounds awesome. So every time we're on the road or something, or, we just need a quick lunch or something, I always grab one of those salads because they're so good. And the little packets of ranch dressing or whatever, and it's only, less than 50 cents. So reasonably priced. Okay. So I feel like some of these are... Oh, shoot. I feel like some of these are shows, right? Because isn't Suits a show? Matlock was a show. And I think BoJack Horseman was a show. Are they about, like... Was Matlock about a private investigator? I'm trying to remember. That was like ages ago. And then maybe Damages? Okay, but think back. We did BoJack, Matlock, Damages, Suits. No, we did Stephen Hawking, Steve McQueen. And then one of these... Oh, darn it. Was it both of these? Hold on. Okay, so we guessed here, and here. And it said, yep, you're one away. Oh, my gosh. Crud. So what are the opposites? If this was one away, Steve McQueen, Stephen Hawking, maybe Lovelace? Shoot. Oh, that one's one away as well. Now hold on a minute. Okay. I was going to say, how did I not see that? Ending with playing cards. BoJack, Hawking, Love Ace, and then McQueen. I thought it was the first names. Oh my gosh. You see. Okay, and then I think these are TV shows. Suits was a TV show. Matlock was a TV show. Legal dramas. Yeah, didn't I say, wasn't it like a private investigator or something? Suits was about a legal team. Okay, well, I did it not because I knew it, but because it was process of elimination at that point. The only thing I had to go off of for the purple category was Stephen Hawking and Steve McQueen, which were not. Which, I mean, that's not why they were related. The very first guess, it said, oh, you're one away. Because I said BoJack, Hawking, and McQueen. And then what did I guess? Matlock, I think. And then I switched out one of them, and it was still one away. So I picked the right thing. It just wasn't the right one I swapped out. So then I swapped that one back in, and then I put Lovelace. Oh, my gosh. That's so funny. All right. Well, the yellow category. We nearly did this one in color order. The yellow category was components of a salad. We got cheese, dressing, lettuce. Hopefully your salad has lettuce. And then protein. I see some salads that are just loaded with toppings, and I'm like, you forgot the green part. Kinds of machines. There's the Enigma machine that was used, I believe, in World War I for encoding messages. And then on the other end, they had the right unlock, and then it would spit the message out. Pinball machine. I've always dreamed, ever since I was a kid, I dreamed about having my own pinball machine at my house. I think that's the sign that I've like made it in the world. Not some big house. I mean, a big house would be fun. Not some big, sports car convertible. I don't need that. But like my like, yep, you've made it in the world. You are successful. Is if one day I could buy myself a pinball machine. Is that petty? Remember the splurges in the Strands? Was that yesterday or the day before? Somebody asked, would you do any of these things? It was like buy a convertible, buy jewelry, buy these things. I'm pretty thrifty, but if I had the money to spend, and I had a space for it, of course, I would buy myself a brand spanking new pinball machine. I think that would be the, I made it in the world. Other kinds of machines, sewing machine, and of course a vending machine that could make you money to earn yourself a pinball machine. The purple category today, ending with playing cards, and I didn't get this because I noticed that they were playing cards. I noticed this actually because of Stephen Hawking and Steve McQueen, and then just for whatever reason it was one away. So then I moved one, it was wrong. I replaced that one, I put the other one in, and then it was correct. So Bo Jack, Hawking for king, Lovelace for ace, and then McQueen for queen. And then the blue category, legal dramas, Damages, I've never seen. Goliath, I've never seen. Matlock, I think I watched when I was a little kid. And then Suits, I never watched, but I know the name. All right, let's load up the mini crossword puzzle. Trust me, connections will become worse. Every yellow is even yellow is unpredictable. Purple is just vague now. It's not that purple was like super helpful. Purple, or not just tricky. Now it's just vague. Oh, smart! I do connections with a pen and paper now to map things out, keep track of my previous guesses. I like that. That's pretty smart. All right, so we've got in the mini crossword today a 5x5 with one box knocked out. Fictional maker of the Little Giant Do-It-Yourself Rocket Sled Kit. Little Giant Do-It-Yourself Rocket Sled Kit. Who did that? I don't know. We'll come back. Sound made when revving an imaginary motorcycle. Is that the word they want? Vroom. Maybe I'm wrong. Plant from which mezcal is distilled. Isn't that agave? I think that's agave. A wannabe or a tryhard is a poser? Maybe that's wrong. What a ticket entitles you to. Like to an event or to maybe it's just entry, right? You bought the ticket, you're now allowed to enter the park or whatever. Oh, maybe these are correct, because look at this. One down. Noble gas used in semiconductor manufacturing. I know this. That's argon. Argon. Shore is the coast. Worker who's typically busiest around the last day of each month. Oh, that's funny. Because I just saw one across. Okay, so this one is Acme, but then this one, worker who's typically busiest on the last day of each month, a mover, and then so this one's an E to make Acme, but a type of board at a nail salon, an emery board. That's very clever. Very, very clever. Okay, yeah, okay. So I was trying to think of what, like who did this? No, it's a company, a fake company that everybody knows if you watched, Roadrunner. That's great. Fictional maker of Little Giant Do-It-Yourself Rocket Sled Kit. Acme anvils. Acme, he would always buy the Wile E. Coyote. He would always buy these crazy inventions and things out of a catalog, and then they'd go horribly wrong, of course, and the Roadrunner would get away every time. But every time he bought something, it would be from the Acme company. Oh, that's funny. Sound made when revving an imaginary motorcycle. I totally thought I would have to change this one. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, one across sounds like a Wile E. Coyote prop. Absolutely is. That absolutely is. Sound made when revving an imaginary motorcycle. Vroom. Vroom. Plant from which mezcal is distilled. That's agave. I did know that. Wannabe or a tryhard. Again, I thought I'd have to change this one too. Poser. Funny. You never wanted to be a poser in middle school or high school, right? You wanted to fit in with the crowd. What a ticket entitles you to. Entry. Gosh, yeah, so many of these I was like, oh, I'll have to change this. Nope, that's exactly what they were looking for. Noble gas used in semiconductor manufacturing. Argon. On the shores, on the coast. A mover is a worker who's typically busiest around the last day of the month. Yeah, because rent is due for the next month and you don't want to have to pay out. Kind of board at a nail salon. An emery board. And then hit a pen. Oh, a vape pen. Oh, we didn't even get to that one. That's so funny. That got filled in by the across answers. Hit a pen. Vaping is so common at a school. Oh my gosh. I teach at a high school. And it's so common for admin to just, they're going into the, that one bathroom that kids are just, it's a hotbed for kids to go meet up with each other and go vape. So common. One time at a faculty meeting, one of the admins brought in all of the confiscated vapes and he laid them out on a table, and he nearly ran out of room on this 3x6 table. There were just hundreds of them that had been confiscated from kids. I was just stunned, absolutely stunned how many of these vapes. And, it's not legal for a kid to vape, just like, smoking. There are rules and regulations about it. I don't think it's regulated as it should be, Manufacturers can put any kind of garbage in there, and then suddenly you're sucking that into your lungs, and it hits your bloodstream directly. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's supposed to be, cleaner than smoke. How about neither? Maybe the option is don't do either one. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me in the slightest bit. But for some reason, it's like the cool thing to try in a high school. I hope it dies out. I hope it's a fad. I know it's not, but I hope that at least trying it as a minor is dying out soon. Wawa vroom. Yeah, you might vroom to Wawa. Wawa was a that's funny. Wawa was on the East Coast where I grew up in New Jersey. Wawa was a convenience store, right? Just like a 7-Eleven. We had 7-Elevens too, but the competitor was Wawa. And then so you might vroom to Wawa. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so the Wordle. Some people I feel like are telegraphing me ideas, but I'm not going to listen to any of them about the Wordle. So let's just start with. Would that fit? G-U-A-N-T. Gaunt. No help at all. Oh, wow. Okay. Fine, be that way. How about, I'm trying to come up with a non-intersecting word. How about lower? Really? Okay, there's an ER, but it's not an O in the middle. So it's not consonant O, consonant ER. So then where would it go? We haven't guessed the I. Would it start with an O? Remember we had, was it oddly? Maybe otter. Can we hit another non-intersecting word? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I see one right here. Picky. Let's see what happens there. No help at all. Okay. So, we know there's an O, but it's not at the second. So it's not consonant O, consonant ER. Like lower, like that. So, what if it is... Is sure a word? Is that a word? What if I'm wrong? What other consonants might go together there? Maybe we should come back to sure. SM, S, M, MR, BR. I don't know. Let's try it. I mean, it's a guess. Let's try it. Okay, interesting. It's an O word. It's got to be an O word. O blank blank ER. You know, like, I mean, maybe it's a double, like otter, right? The animal, the otter. No, it's umber. Umber, not omber. It's an O word. Do you think it is? I don't want to run out of guesses, but that is potentially a word. O. O-V? O. O. Ozzer. Oh, maybe it's offer. Oh, crud. I'm going to try that. Let's try it. Okay, if it's not offer... Oh my gosh, thank you. Because didn't we have odd something, odder, oddly... Not that long ago. Not that long ago. I'm trying to think of when. It was like 2 weeks ago or something. It had oddly or odder or something with odd in it. And I was like, well, what's the likelihood they would put one after the other like that? Maybe not. All right, we got it on the 5th. We've been getting it on the 5th more often lately. Oddly. Okay, Callie said it's oddly we had a little while ago. The ER trap, many casualties. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's one of the strengths of this this non-intersecting word idea. That, you know, if it is something you're like, oh, I totally got this, then you still kind of have a good head on your shoulders, you know, the way you guess. So we started with the word gaunt, G-A-U-N-T, gaunt. And then lower, gaunt, in the Harry Potter series, I think gaunt was one of the family names of like Sirius Black or oh gosh, now I'm forgetting. I need to read the series again, but there's Ominous Gaunt, and like it sounds like a very eerie name. And then we tried lower, and lower was actually kind of a hinge pin here, because it gave us the O and an ER, and you're absolutely right. I think it's very easy to fall into, to play ER and then just try a bunch of things and throw your guesses away. So then I tried picky, which, on closer inspection, Gaunt and Picky were both not helpful. And then you guys, okay, so you really did get into my head. I'm not going to lie to you. You really did get into my head where you said, oh, it's weird. It's foul business. It was foul. What does that mean? Are you trying to telegraph an answer? Foul offer? I don't know. It has an F in it. Is that what you're trying to get to? But I was like, okay, if this is really tricky, then maybe it is some word people never hear, like bilge or those words that they've been throwing in lately. But I tried shoer. Someone that puts shoes on a horse, right, is a shoer. And there is an O. It told me there's an O, which is great. And then I thought, okay, so oddly. Oddly's definitely or otter, excuse me. We did have oddly about a week, two weeks ago. But what's the chance that it would be otter followed closely behind with oddly? Maybe not. And then I thought, oh, it's offer, right? Offer's one. And if it wasn't offer, maybe I would guess otter. But luckily I didn't have to have that terrible choice in front of me. Offer. I got it on the 5th. Cool. Cool. Yeah, job offer. Petition for Miller to play hard mode. That's funny. Shoo. You say when you want peace. Shoo. Go away. I want some peace in my life. That's funny. Petition for Miller to play in hard mode. Maybe I need to. One of these days. I've just for I love it when people ask, oh, you're a teacher, you must love the break. I'm like, what made you think I have a break here? This is like the busiest time of my life. It's funny. I don't know. Yeah, I am awfully busy right now, but really I should dedicate some time to doing hard mode. I think that would be pretty fun. I was actually thinking, okay, so I'll tell you what's hindering me from this. My wife and I are seriously considering upgrading our internet plan. Google Fiber has come through our neighborhood, and in fact, our neighbor next door has gotten Google Fiber. We just haven't bit the bullet yet. You just got to bite the bullet and do it. But once we do get that, I'll be able to do way better live streams. Things that don't buffer, right? Sometimes my face glitches in and out, and just the dumb things that if I had a better internet connection, I really could support bigger, better, funner, cooler things. I want to, once we have a more reliable internet connection, do a live stream where I am live streaming like for hours, right? Our usual live streams are what, like 40 minutes to an hour. I think it would be cool to do like 3 hours of Wordle Unlimited or something, and just like word after word after word for quite a while. I don't know. So if that interests you, let me know. Let me know if that interests you. Hard mode is scary. Oh man. Yeah, we're in for it. All right. Well, let's play the Strands. We've got enough numbers in today that I think maybe there's some new people. If you've never played the Strands puzzle before, think of it like a word search. And we are trying to find the words in here, but we don't know what the words are, and we also don't truly know what the theme means. Foul business, and it's FOWL, meaning probably birds, right? These are chickens or hens or that kind of thing. I think maybe that's what you were telegraphing to me. That was foul, you keep saying. Oh, boy. Okay, so foul. I'm thinking, oh, look at this. Turkey. Turkey. Hello? Turkey? Why isn't it going? Go. There it is. Oh, and Callie even had the flag of Turkey in there. Thanks for telegraphing yet another hint to me. Turkey. How about goose? Here's one. Partridge. Partridge in a pear tree. Foul business. What's another one? A squab, a grouse. Oh, actually, here's squab right here. S. There's no S around. SQ. Oh, boy. Okay, maybe it's not squab. Quail. Could be quail. 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 Okay. Oh, here's a spangram. Game birds. Game birds. Pheasant. And then there's one more. It is there. Grouse. I'm better at this than I allude to. Oh, gosh. Grouse. Okay. I was looking over here for that. Or squab. Isn't squab one of them, too? Am I making up words? I might be making up words here. Squab. Squab is a young pigeon, 4 weeks old, raised for food. Yeah. See, I'm not making this up. I do know things. Hello, pheasants. Nice to meet you. That's funny. Peasants, pheasants. I'm sure there's some kind of web comic about that. Okay, so today's Strands was about game birds, foul business, game birds. Pheasant, quail, grouse, partridge, goose, and turkey. All different hunting birds. Nice. That one actually didn't take very long, did it? Okay, and then if we set up our puzzle like this, you can actually see. Awesome. Okay, so we need to do it in 6 words today, which is probably because, oh no, the C and the K are on the same side. Sam, are you watching my live streams? Sam Azarski might be watching my live streams. Because he always, he's got to make sure there's a Q with the U. There's this one word that I've been dreaming of playing and I've never been able to, and I almost can today, which was hazard. Hazard. But there's no D in this puzzle. If there was a D in this puzzle, then maybe we could, but we can't today. Man, what are we going to do with that K? The C is next to it, not opposed to it. All right, well, we might be in for it today. Okay, so I see K, C, and A on one side, O, Z, and N, W, E, and R, Y, H, and B. So for the H, we could span across to make CH. Or I guess WH we could do. Oh, with ER, like if we did where or something, ERE, it's on the same side. You can't use 2 letters on the same side. So we'll span across to make words. If you see anything, shout it out, because this might be a little trickier puzzle. Hazy? No, there's no E. Hazy. There's no T. There's no S. There's no I. York. York is a proper name. I'm surprised that's a thing. Kench? Is that a word? I'm nervous about playing that Y right there. Maybe we ought to come back. We'll come back. I don't like that the R and the E are on the same side. We can't play RE words or ER words. Oh, I can't play hewn. H-E-W-N, because the E and the W are on the same side. There's no L. I could almost play chonky. That's not a word, though. That's a word I use all the time, chonky. Oh, he's a chonky boy. Put him in the chokey. That's so funny. Why is that a word, chokey? Yarn. Knob. Not a word. Not a word. Because if we can... What? That's a word? Neb? What does neb mean? Because now we can play... brazen. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 words. And then we just need... Gnaw. Is that a word? What? How is that a word? Okay. Apparently N-A-W is a word. I know G-N-A-W, like to gnaw on something, is a word. What was yesterday's puzzle? Zingy and yourself. Zingy yourself. Huh. Okay, so we had to do it in 6 words today. We did it in 5. 5 weird words. Very weird words. Why is that hard to say right now? Chokey, and then the Y led to yarn, and then the N led to neb. What does neb mean? It's one of those words I just typed in praying that it's a word. Neb. A nose, snout, or bird's beak. Scottish, Northern English. Okay, in Scottish English, you might refer to somebody's nose as a neb, or the brim of a cap. Okay. Interesting. Never heard of that one. And then brazen. And then the N led to another word that I happened to put in. What does gnaw mean? N-A-W. Variant spelling of no. Gnaw. Dialect non-standard. Want some toast? Gnaw. Gnaw is sometimes confused with gnaw with a G. Okay, so this is a dialectic way of saying no, gnaw. And that's how you would spell it out loud, I guess. Interesting. Huh. All right, well, let's recap. Connections puzzle we played first. We played 4 groups of 4. which were components of a salad. The yellow category, cheese, dressing, lettuce, and protein. Don't forget the green part. I love when people are like, well, like pizza is technically a salad, right? 'Cause it's got vegetables. Yeah, you need like salad too, right? The green category was kinds of machines. An Enigma machine was the first encryptor used in war. Pinball machine, the sign that I have made it in life. If I ever buy a pinball machine, I'll know I've made it in life. A sewing machine and a vending machine. Maybe I'll make my millions with vending machines and then earn a pinball machine. The purple category, ending with playing cards. Bo, Jack, Lace, right? Ace, and then McQueen. That's clever. At first I was mixed up because I thought it was Stephen Hawking, Steve McQueen, but that had nothing to do with it. Legal dramas, right? This was the yellow or the blue category. Damages, Goliath, Matlock, and Suits. I probably watched a little bit of Matlock when I was just a small child because that is an older show. And then Suits I've never seen, but I've just heard the name. The other ones are new to me. Okay, and then here, let's start at the top. Fictional maker of Little Giant Do-It-Yourself Rocket Sled Kit, Acme. The Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. The Roadrunner's always outsmarting Wile E. Coyote somehow. And usually he's buying these Acme products and they fail somehow. Sound made when revving an imaginary engine. Vroom. Vroom. Plant from which mezcal is distilled. Agave. A wannabe or a tryhard is a poser. What a ticket entitles you to. Entry. An entry to an event. Noble gas used in semiconductor manufacturing. Argon. The shore is the coast, right? Coastline, shoreline. Worker who's typically busiest around the last day of each month. A mover. Yeah. Gonna get the most out of your rent check and then move to another place. Kind of board at a nail salon, an emery board. That's another one of those that they always put into crossword puzzles, emery, because it has a lot of nice ending letters to it. And then hit a pen, vape. Oh boy. Guys, don't vape. Don't vape. It's not good for you. You don't know what you're putting in. They're not very well regulated. Okay, so for the Wordle today, we tried gaunt, and then that was no help. And then the word lower, which was a non-intersecting word with gaunt. And lower gave us the O, not in the right place, though, and then the ER at the end. And John Marco was absolutely right. Sometimes ER is a death sentence because then you guess and guess and guess and then never get it. But luckily it had the O, and I thought, okay, let's try one more non-intersecting word, which I found, which was picky, and that was no help. And then I tried sure, and the reason I tried a weird off word is because you guys in the chat were saying, oh, this is going to be a bizarre one. So I thought, okay, maybe it's some off word. And sure was not it, and it told me where the O goes. It goes at the beginning. And then I thought, okay, so what other letters can go there? It's got to be O, consonant, consonant, ER. So it's maybe otter, a double D, or maybe offer. And I thought, well, we had oddly, like 2 weeks ago? Maybe it's not two odd words, one after the other. I bet you it's going to be offer. So we tried offer, and it was. All right. Okay, and then for the Strands puzzle, today's theme was foul business. Game birds, right? You can see the spangram right there. Game birds. Pheasant, quail, grouse, goose, partridge, and turkey. And then we rounded it off today with the letterbox puzzle. We started with the word chokey. Remember in Matilda, what's her face? The bad lady that throws kids over the fence. Trunchbull. the Trunchbull. She would throw kids in the chokey for minor infractions, and it was this like torture device. And then the Y led to yarn. The N led to neb, which apparently in Scottish English means the tip of your nose, or just referring to your nose. And then the B led to brazen, to get rid of the Z. And then the N for the W, we said gnaw, N-A-W, and apparently that's how you spell it. So there you have it. And my goodness. Okay, well, good stuff. That was a fun stream. A couple of great puzzles today. Very, very doable today. Thanks for leading me astray a couple times in the chat. I appreciate the challenge. And enjoy your Thursday. We're rounding out the week. We're getting close to the end of the week already. Hope you guys are having good days. And I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.